Ah! Tiger. Hello everybody, I'm the Prickly Alpaca, and I would like to welcome you to a very spooky illustration. Okay, not really. So, since I drew a cute little witch version of myself last year, I decided to kind of do that, like a draw this again type thing with that, and I wanted it to be a little bit more illustrative and less like promotional channel art sort of thing. So instead of doing just a generic witch, I decided to make it themed and make myself like a Libra witch. That's why by the end of this drawing you see me holding like a scale, because Libras rule over like justice and they're debaters, and you understand. Oh my god, my computer's being very loud. So anyways, a few other considerations that went into the process whenever I was going into this illustration were the color scheme, which blue and orange were the main theme colors for this drawing. Blue because my hair is blue and blue is my favorite color, and orange/yellow because marigolds are my October birthday flower, and those are the flowers that make up the cloak that my character has in this drawing. They kind of look more like roses than marigolds because I'm not good at drawing marigolds. They have like a million petals all over the place, and they're just a huge struggle in general. Like, oh my god, marigolds. The other consideration that went in was I wanted to add like another October themed thing. So I also added a lot of opal. I kind of had this idea that opal, the crystal, would be kind of infused kind of in her clothing, and she would have little gems all over the place, and that's one of the ways she would get her magic. So like her hat is magical and it's infused with some opal gems, as you can see me add later. And then she also has an opal gem at the base of her collar and on her shoulders, and she has another full few gems on her hat. I thought that was a pretty cool thing to add. And then, of course, the scale, which was really interesting and fun. I don't really have much of a basis for the design of the scale other than the wind chimes, which are kind of inspired by the fact that, according to like my zodiac, my element is wind. So I thought wind chimes would be kind of like a really cute, obscure way to kind of nod at that. I don't know. As far as the other colors in the illustration go, I have a lot of, like, I don't know, deep jade greens. That's one of my favorite colors, and that's kind of the color that I dye my hair usually whenever I first dye it. It tends to fade out to more of the blue that I have it in the drawing. And then otherwise, with the outfit, I was just kind of trying to do something a little bit different than I did for the illustration last year. Last year, my character was wearing a dress, and it's back whenever I had long hair, so it fit it a lot better, but I wanted to do something very different. I will admit that the whole cape and low-cut shirt combination was sort of inspired by Glinda Goodwitch from Ruby, because I think her design is really cute and witchy and adorable, and I kind of wanted to emulate that a little bit, so I drew some inspiration there. Otherwise, I don't know. I wear shorts and like thigh highs and stuff a lot, and I give my character a little bit of a butt skirt because I tried to emulate like my body proportions as best as I could, but I feel like, I don't know, a lot of people struggle with this, but I kind of tend to view myself as someone who's kind of hard to draw because my proportions are really strange. I have curves, but I'm not curvy, like my waist does not curve, so adding a butt skirt kind of helps with that a little bit. So yeah, those are some of the things that went into this drawing, and it's not super complicated. I kind of thought about adding a background to it that was sort of like nighttime, like flying over a city, but that ended up sort of not being a thing just because I wanted to get this video out by Halloween, and I have an exam this week in college, and everything's just kind of super busy for me, so that's the other reason why I haven't been uploading videos steadily. I've been kind of challenged in like balancing my art progress and college at the same time, even though what I'm doing isn't very hard. I tend to study more than I should sometimes. So I'm kind of trying to find a balance between how much I need to study for a test or how much I need to work on an assignment and having some free time to actually put into my art and my illustration. And of course, I'm still trying to develop a comic. I'm trying to find a shorter one because every single time I develop a new comic, it just turns into a long-running thing, and I'm just not equipped to handle that for like my first full comic that I do. It's a little bit daunting. Anyway, as far as the actual drawing process for this goes, it's pretty simple. I just kind of sketched it out, decided the elements that I wanted, and then I inked it. Whenever I inked it, I tried to pay attention to my line weights a little bit more. For a while, I was really into watercolor stuff traditionally, like in my sketchbook. I would just make a really clean sketch with some nice lines that had some good weight with my pencil, and then I would just add watercolors, and I thought it looked super nice, and then I would go over the edges with a black pen, so everything would pop really nice and the silhouette would be good. And I've been trying to emulate that a little bit with my digital work, but it just isn't exactly the same. So instead, I've been kind of just trying to focus on my lens a little bit more and have better line weight, because I feel like line weight is one of the best things that you can do to make an illustration really eye-catching and bold. The other thing I really tried to do in this illustration was to balance my value structure within my design. That's why in the end I ended up adding a little weird design to like the stockings she's wearing, and her hat's white, and the only dark parts are kind of like on her limbs and on her shoes. I didn't put too much into it, but I tried to balance the patches of light and dark and just get those values a little bit more appealing, because I have a tendency to make outfits a little bit too dark because I wear a lot of black. And yeah. Anyway, I didn't really add much shading in this, as you can see. I kind of just did some really basic stuff with it. And I just wanted it to be a cute little poppy illustration for Halloween. So, happy Halloween, everybody. You can see the final illustration in a second here, right here. I didn't really add a background. It's a random background. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I hope you guys have a really spooky day and you have some fun and you relax. And I hope to be uploading some more stuff eventually, soon, hopefully. I want to get back into videos, but everything is just stressful. I will see you in the next video, whenever that is.